Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, as the title states, I'm going to show you exactly how much money I've made on YouTube in my time on YouTube. Not clickbait, I'll actually go right into my analytics page. I will also compare that. I've looked at Socialblade in the past and I've wondered how accurate it was. It's going to vary heavily by creator. It's going to vary heavily by the amounts of ads, types of ads, the actual click-through rate, and yeah, how much people watch the ads and engage with the ads on a channel. And then there's more behind the scenes, subscriptions and things of that nature. But anyways, I'll show you my Socialblade page. I'll show you my analytics page, and we'll actually see and we'll talk a little bit about it. I thought about going with a title of like antiviral. Shout out to Pokemon Radar. If anyone watched the podcast I was on of his a few weeks ago, I talked about how it's kind of my brand. Antiviral, just cold, analytical, boring robot Dan and his spreadsheets. Never going to go viral. This video will likely not go viral. But I've had, shout out Ernesto. I've had Ernesto doing my thumbnails for quite a while now. I'm trying to be better with titles. Kind of like light clickbait, where I'm not lying. I'm not completely just kind of scamming the viewers into clicking on an item. Into clicking on a video. I'm going to actually follow through with whatever I claim in the title. A little bit of sarcasm here and there. My video last week, if anyone saw that, it was funny how many people could not sense the sarcasm. Probably has something to do with the low watch time. I mean, a lot of people watch 10 seconds, a few minutes, just read the title and then click out. So it was funny to see in the comments, the amount of comments, but that kind of emotional title, that kind of title that just brings out an emotion and makes you want to watch something and get defensive or curiosity, whatever it may be. I definitely will attempt to be better drawing the click, and then hopefully my dry, boring self won't be too something that's too easy to click off. But yeah, after that long 2-minute intro into what I'm going to do, most have already clicked off. So for those who haven't, let's get into it. So Socialblade. If people aren't familiar, it's just a website that kind of tracks all these different social platforms based upon one's views. I swear this was not planned. I swear this is not edited. 420,069 video views per Socialblade. You'll see that once we get to my actual channel analytics, it's slightly different than that, but that was just hilarious to me. Let me actually see if I refresh, if it changes. I don't know how frequently this is updated, but it did not yet change. By tomorrow, by the time that you see this video, it likely will have changed. But anyways, my page was created December 4th, 2020. I believe I uploaded my first video, the podcast with Nick, episode 1, before it was named PokeFlips, before it was on its own channel, back in March of 2021. But anyways, it is estimating that I'm making between $6 and $120. Very wide range, not surprising, because again, all the different things that go into how much somebody will make. 130 subscribers for the past 30 days. You can kind of see. I am going to be doing a video. There might be some overlap between this week's video of antiviral, how much money I make on YouTube, and next week's video, which will be about consistency. These are two topics that I talked about with John. If you haven't watched that interview with John, I will link in the description if I remember. Go check out all the other interviews he's doing in his podcast. But yeah, one thing that I love to see, I'm not going to get too much on the consistency here, but even though there was no massive viral month, there was no month where I completely popped off and went to the moon. It's just been slow, steady growth, slow, steady, consistent growth, albeit antiviral. There's been no major month. I mentioned in the conversation with John, I've never gained 300 subscribers in a month. As you can see below me right here, that's a live number, 3,571 subscribers. Just slow, steady burn, no big video that pops off. There are people who've gained that many alone in 1 week, in 1 month, in one video. But that's not me. So yeah, that's what Socialblade says. Those are all the numbers for anyone who wants to check it. I mean, you can check anyone on here. You can check PokeRev, you can check any of your favorite content creators just to get an idea. But you'll find very soon, and I will click into the analytics page in a second. I just want to reiterate what these numbers show. 6 to 102 monthly. And I'm assuming that this is based off videos alone. There's no way that this would have any idea of how many members, how many not subscribers, but actual members, how many memberships, how many paying members, and what tiers. It would have no way into that. So I'm assuming this is the ad portion only. And then the estimated annual earnings are between 76 and 1.2K, obviously just 12 times the monthly. But here we go. So right now we're on my last 28 days. We will look at lifetime. We will look at a couple different ways. But yeah, 25,000 views, 24.9 thousand. Pretty close. A little bit off from YouTube. I don't really know how they go about calculating it and why it would vary slightly. 4.7 thousand watch hours per month. 129 subscribers in the last month, about the same as usual as it's stating. Obviously, if you do the math, I mean, I've been on YouTube now for March of 2021 to today, about 27 months. So if you do the math on that, that would probably work out, yeah, right around 130 or so per month. I remember there was long stretches where I was getting only 60 per month or so, and it's probably been over a year that I've had anywhere that low. Lately, it's more around 80 to 120 plus, doing a little bit better because of that video from last Monday that kind of popped off a little bit. Not viral, but viral for me. So these are my top content in the past. This is just in the past 28 days, I believe. I'll have to, yeah. So this is just in the last 28 days. Vintage Pokemon is too expensive. That was my little bit of sarcastic video from last week. But anyways, let's just go right to a year, I guess. So it's estimating that I made, what was it again? 1.2K to $76. I actually made about $2,000. So in the past year, I've made $2,000 on YouTube. A decent portion of that is memberships. I don't know if I'll be able to split out how much was memberships and how much wasn't. I don't think I can, unfortunately. See, that one video alone made $120. Amplitude has dropped from time to time. Crazy amounts of memberships. So some of my live streams have made a lot of money because a large portion of that was memberships dropped during the stream. Let me see if I can get back. Okay, I wanted to get back to where I was. I'm gonna get lost in here. I don't go in here too much. So something that's not surprising to hear from someone who's never really gone viral. But yeah, let's hop right up to lifetime. So I've made 2,000 in the past year, and lifetime in the past 2.5 years, it's only 2,500. So I've made most of my 80% of the money I've made on YouTube. I've made in the past year. Obviously, a good trend. Big things that have led to that was over a year, I was not monetized. You can't monetize until you have, they just changed it recently. I think it's 3,000 watch hours and 1,000, or I don't know if it's still 1,000 subscribers, if they lowered it slightly. Anyways, I wasn't able to until I had 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. That happened somewhere around the end of 2021, early 2022. So it was actually about 9 months that I was unable to be monetized. But yeah, monetized now for over a year and a half, and that's what it's led to. You can see some big days. That's when somebody dropped 100 gift subs or something like that, 50 gift subs. But no viral video that popped off and took my views over. I mean, I've never had over 3,000 views in a day per this. I've never had over 800 or so watch hours in a day. Never had over 40 subscribers in a day. I've had some friends, some people in the Pokemon community, and I know some people who do YouTube not in the Pokemon community. They've gained 5,000 subs in a day. They've gained 500 off a single video. I'm not there yet. Maybe someday I'll get there. I'm doing my best over here with no editing, things of that nature. Shout out to Melfi Media, Silent in the Pokenomics Discord. We've tried a couple times. I tried doing this challenge, and even though it didn't go viral, even though it didn't do the big things that I hoped it might do, both for my channel a little bit selfishly, but then also for breast cancer research. I mean, we did raise $1,450. About a little under half was me. So I donated several $100s as part of it into this. And then, yeah, I mean, just my own personal donation was amplified by you guys, by the people who watched and partook in that challenge. And it was fun. That's one thing underlying all this. This is not a video saying I'm salty, I've never gone viral. What's wrong with the YouTube algorithm? What's wrong with you guys? Why are you not clicking more, liking more, watching more? And please, if you do like what you're watching, please like, subscribe, and feel free to share the video. I very rarely say that in a video, and maybe I should say it more, but I probably won't end up saying it too much more. Anyways, continuing on, I figured this, as is common amongst all my videos, I think it's fun for me to dive in and look at this. I'm seeing a lot of these for the first time. I planned on making this video. I looked over it very briefly. But yeah, I hope it's informative to some people, wondering if and when they get to where they can monetize, how much they might make. I think it'll be a lot less than most people hope it might be, but it still is something. I mean, it still does add up. And then all the indirect benefits that you get from it, plus the fact that I'm having a good time doing all this. But yeah, continuing on, my top content in this period, I still am yet to have a 10,000 view video, which is, it is what it is, right? It's really crazy to see how much this one video has popped off recently, how to buy through Pokemon Center using Tenso. That video was a real slow burn for a long time, and this is very rare for a video of mine, but it always has the initial pump when I post the video, and then to get that late pump was just due to all the recent things that have gone on. This is kind of like an evergreen video, right? I've heard people use that use that word before for a video that like stands the test of time, and it's not just when I go live and I talk about CGC's updates, when I go live and talk about whatever the flavor of the week is, that's just like a flash in the pan type thing. It's old news by the time it's posted a week later. This is one though that hopefully seems to have been educational to many people. I mean, there's probably hundreds of new Tenso accounts at a minimum from the 7,700 people that have watched it. This one honestly is on pace. This could be my first 10,000 view video. I'll have to see if I can do better and get something up in the meantime that will bring me to the moon sooner, quicker. But yeah, all throughout this, I did have somewhere. Where did I put it? So here are my highest viewed shorts. Getting wrecked. You gotta love seeing that getting wrecked. Slab optimization fails. You love seeing that. That's one of the absolute single best short that I've ever made. Melfi Collectibles. 2 highly edited shorts. This one right here, challenging people for breast cancer research. The Tiltify campaign that I showed earlier. And then also the first short I ever posted. Where did that one go? YouTube is bad in that it doesn't let you select a thumbnail. But that one's in here somewhere where I actually pulled the Charizard on stream with all those guys right there. So yeah, pulling a Pokemon base set Charizard with PokeRev. I tagged PokeReg and Rev and SM Pratt, I believe, maybe TCA Gaming in the title too. Didn't work to bring me viral, but we tried. We tried. Continuing on here, and then just kind of rounding it off. I'm not going to go on too much longer, getting a little bit rambly here, I think. If anyone wants to see or hear any other information with regards to this, as always, feel free to leave a question in the comments. But what I take from this and what I plan to do moving ahead, I talked about how I now have a thumbnail guy. Ernesto's doing the thumbnails for me, and I think he's doing a good job. It's funny to see how, as of right now, my 2 best videos are my own thumbnails, those terrible thumbnails that I made myself. Ernesto's here in 3rd, and then that crazy live stream I did with Jake, average view duration of 33 minutes, which is only 7.8%, because that was about a 7-hour video. That is my most viewed live stream, which is crazy. Probably because it took 20 views for people to get through it once. And then it's nice to see some pretty recent videos in here. It's nice to see some pretty recent videos, because that means that, yeah, those, given enough time, will probably dethrone some of the highest viewed videos. But moving ahead, if I could set some reasonable goal, seeing that I'm at 420,000 views, 420,069, you couldn't have planned it better. I would love to hit 1 million video views. Setting a smart goal for myself, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-based. I'm almost to 500,000, and it's taken me about 2.5 years. I am accelerating. Per this, I am accelerating. Per this, I'm accelerating. I've never had 30,000 video views in a month. But if I could average 30,000 a month, if I could get there and then get above there to where I could average that, let's shoot for 33,000 a month or so, which would be 100,000 every 3 months. So let's shoot for 1.5 years from now. 1.5 years from now, I want to hit 1 million views. That would be a pretty decently accelerated rate. Hopefully I can continue with the growth, slow, steady growth that I'm doing. We'll talk about that more next week in my consistency video. But yeah, that's kind of where I am. That's a fun little comparison for anyone who wants to track their own analytics and maybe project, compare. Let me know. I think people use the term like CPM. I mean, I've made $2,500 off 434,000 views. It's weird because that's combining shorts and lives and videos and memberships. It's really combining a lot of things. It's hard to separate out which each of those would be. But yeah, if anyone wants to leave any comparisons in the comments, if you don't want to leave it in the comments and you just want to send it to me, I never share DMs. I never spill DMs. If you want to just do a kind of a comparison point, hey, I've got the same amount of views and I've made this much, just cool to compare numbers. But yeah, that's all I've got, I think. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to show, my earliest videos, just how far I've came. Podcast number 1 with Nick, 281 views. It's crazy to scroll back and look. Definitely have never gone viral. Probably won't ever go like true viral million view video, or maybe with a short, it feels most likely, but probably not still. Anyways, the numbers are getting bigger. Bigger numbers, bigger money. It's not enough to live off of by any means. 2,500 over 2.5 years, but it is, I mean, it is growing. It is accelerating. So I'll have to see how far I can take it. Regardless of how far I take it, I'm having a good time here on YouTube. I'm having a good time with Nick on PokeFlips, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. It is a fraction of my bottom line as far as direct dollars into my bank account on a weekly, monthly, annual basis. But it is a big I mean, I'm a one-man operation. I need some socialization, right? There's no more water cooler talk. There's no more lunch table with the crew at work. So this is my lunch table. This is my water cooler, and I'm having a good time. So yeah, Antiviral Dan checking out. I will catch you all later.